Well, it is another Monday, which means it's time to catch up with Tyvis Powell here. And Tyvis, remember, everything that we say can and might be used in a hype video for another team. With that started, I would like to start by saying this Ohio State defense is unbelievable at this point. And they continue week in and week out to prove why they are so dominant.
Yeah.
All we heard about was Washington has this trifecta, the best running back, the best wide receiver, and the best quarterback. They didn't score a touchdown. Was that the most impressive performance from Matt Patricia in this defense so far?
I think it is, because I was a little concerned myself. I'm not going to lie. I'm real with the people. I thought, having Damon Williams Jr., having those wheels that he had, I thought that he would certainly crease us at some point in the game. Our defensive line did an outstanding job of rushing up the field, not getting too far, and actually inviting him to take the lane. And as soon as he does, they collapse down on it. I think he finished the game with negative yardage. So they did a wonderful job with that. Jonah Coleman had one explosive run for 34 yards. On that one, if you go back and watch it, Kenyatta Jackson does a really good job setting the edge. As he's disengaging, he just kind of lost his footing and fell down, and that's kind of how that crease opened up. Did a good job rallying, tackling. They got nothing out of it, so it works there. And then as far as Denzel Boston goes, he had a couple of catches, but he wasn't too much that guys couldn't handle. I think that this defense is special because you have so many good players on every level. You got a good defensive line. I love Caden Curry's thought after the game. He said, we just got a bunch of no-name guys that's going out there making plays. And that's exactly what they're doing. Nobody has the hype behind their name. Not Kenyatta, not Caden, not Bo, not anybody. So these guys are all working together to be a dominant defensive line. K-Mac on the low is one of the best interior alignments in the country right now. If you check PFF, if that's something that you're into, I think he ranks number 2 in interior alignment. So he's doing his thing. And then at the linebacker position, it's as good as you're going to get. Sonny Styles, Arvell Reese, those guys can take any running back out of the game. You're not going to get away from those guys, and that secondary is continue to play at a high level.
No team has scored double digits. We're 4 games through the season. It's truly remarkable. I want to go back to the secondary for a second, because I had somebody after that great performance say to me, well, there were a couple throws that they got open.
They creased them a couple of times.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you look at that, is that just what happened? Because in my mind, that's just football.
Yeah.
I've said Ohio State will give up 99 yards on a drive, but they will not give you that last 1 yard. That is what they have proven at this point. That's just football, right? I mean, at some point, they're a good football team that's going to find the crease over the middle.
So what people have to realize is that Washington is good.
Yes, exactly.
Washington is good. So what they did was they found out that Ohio State was playing one high. One high meaning that they either playing cover 1 or they're playing cover 3. The beater to one high safety is to run those seam routes in there, because now you're forcing that safety to have to make a decision. He has to be able to play both. Now, granted, we need to be a little bit better at the safety position playing that seam route, but they hit some good throws in there, and that right there is something that we have to work on. Linebackers need to get more depth to get that quarterback to discourage the throw and buy that safety more time to get there. So I think that that's just something. It's good that we've seen it now, and it was good that it didn't cost us anything. It's not like the Buckeye defense played perfect. Every week they've had something happen that's given them something to work on, and the best thing about this defense is that they fixed it the following week, because you best believe Minnesota's going to try it.
I'll say this. With McClain, I thought it was a good learning lesson a couple times out there in that safety role.
Yeah.
You're right about one thing. They have been challenged every week, but you've seen them close that gap and answer it. And that's what you want in the first 4 weeks of the season. You want to see a team have to solve problems.
Yes. I think that this schedule was set up perfectly for them. You start off the season against Texas, one of the best offenses with the best quarterback in the country, and you do a really good job.
Why are you laughing, Tyvis? Why are you laughing?
It was a lot of hype. It was a lot of hype in that Texas game. That's all I'm going to say. And you did a really good job of shutting them down. Now, I do believe that their wide receivers are real with Texas, and I thought that they made a couple of plays, but we also did as a secondary. And then you go to Grambling State. Now, that's kind of the get right, get your confidence going, put on tape what you're going to be. And then OU presented some challenge with Parker Navarro being that really good mobile quarterback. Actually, only touchdown you gave up on the season, or no, second touchdown, because Texas got one.
They got one
time. So you got Parker Navarro did a really good job of hitting that slot fade, which is always going to be a problem. When you're in a one high safety team playing man-to-man, that slot fade is always going to be something. So they did a really good job of hitting that. But since then, I haven't seen them really give up that route as well. And then obviously moving on forward to getting to Washington, I think that this was perfect how this is set up, because now this was the best offensive power that you've seen. You had a quarterback that actually wants to run the football, and that can hurt you. You shut him down. You had a running back who some people consider as the best in the country. You did a good job of shutting him down. Denzel Boston is a guy that we will see on Sundays, whether that's in the first or second or third round. He will be playing on Sunday, and you did a really good job of keeping him contained. This defense has really checked the box on everything that you're looking for.
All right. We're going to the other side of the ball, but still, shout out to Caden Curry and K-Mac. That was unbelievable.
Yeah, you got to show that D-line some love.
We're going to the other side of the ball. And when you go to the other side of the ball, you start with the quarterback.
Yes.
And Julian saying, I see list after list after list of the top 10 quarterbacks in the country, and Julian saying is not on any of them.
Nope.
And it's unbelievable. His placement with the football has been impeccable this season. That throw he made to Carnell Tate, rolling out to the right, back to the left, and waiting as he kind of snuck into the secondary there. That was perfect football. Are you impressed? Are you beyond impressed at this point with how developed he is? That was his first road game as a starter.
I think Julian Sang has answered the call every time. You know, you talk about the first game of the season, that big-time environment and a huge game, and he was the best quarterback out there. He probably played better than anybody on the field with the poise that he had. It seems like there is no moment that's too big for him. He seems like even in Washington, all we talked about was the atmosphere. It's going to be so loud. How can Julian Sang handle it? He looked fine. He looked fine to me. I think that Julian Sang is just one of those guys. Look, just keep doing what you're doing, Julian. You ain't got to sit out there and try to go to the media and try to get them to push you. You got some good weapons. Continue to get the ball to them, and you will be in that Heisman race at the end. You play quarterback at The Ohio State University. You're playing some very high IQ football right now. You're putting the ball in the right place. You're throwing touchdowns. Those stats will come. Just continue to do what you do. Continue to dominate. And because you play quarterback at The Ohio State University, you will always be in the Heisman race.
And kudos to him. He has, this is all new for him, but he has the poise off the field too. He's done very well. He does not walk off the field and say, are you seeing some of these throws that I'm making? No, he's very humble. And this whole offense is, including Bo Jackson. And we got to see it, Tyvis. He is the RB1. Bo knows. I put out a tweet. I said, Bo Jackson falls forward for 35 yards. That's just what this man does. What allows him to be so successful after hitting the holes, rule number one with the running back. But what after that allows him to be so successful?
He's really got the total package. When you look at him, he has really good acceleration, meaning when the ball is coming, when he knows it's a run play and it's time to hit the hole, he gets out of his break and he's ready to go. So he's up on that offensive line and that D-line and those linebackers really fast. What I really like about him the most is his vision. He's seeing little small creases and being able to maneuver and juke right into that crease to be able to get some more momentum. And then when he's getting hit, he's doing a great job of breaking tackles, and he's become hard to tackle. So you add all that together, that's a wonderful running back. That's what you want out of your running back one. Now, I know C.J. Donaldson started the game
and
off,
he looked good.
And he looked very good. Obviously, on goal line situations, he came in, ran it straight in. That's exactly what you want. But when you talk about a complete running back, Bo Jackson, it's hard to argue that Bo Jackson is not that guy.
All right. It's on to the night game of Minnesota.
Yes.
Buckeye fans, you get this in a Big Ten matchup. When you look at this Minnesota game, what worries you? What sticks out to you as they get said? Minnesota had a tough game against Rutgers.
Yeah, I was there. The Big Ten tailgate show was there, so
there you
I was
there. You got a front row seat to Minnesota. Tell us what we need to know.
Well, obviously, when I look at Minnesota's offense, Drake Lindsey's a really good quarterback. You know, he's making some really good throws. He's got a lot of poise in there, and his guys are believing in him. Now, they run running back by committee. I don't know what's going on with Darius Taylor. If he gets back in the mix, he's a physical guy. But the one guy on offense that we must stop is Lemeki Brockington. He is a really good wide receiver. At first, I wasn't really buying in the hype, but then I've watched him for the past couple of weeks. He's a really good player, very physical, does a really good job attacking the football. He will be somebody that the Buckeyes will have to circle and have to stop because he is Drake Lindsey's favorite target. On the defensive side of the ball, they got two really good players in the secondary. We know Coy Parrish. He's a really good playmaker in the secondary at the safety position. He can play center field and make a ton of plays. But Kerry Brown is another safety, but he's playing nickel. He had a pick, really high IQ guy. I did a breakdown on him last week. Does does a really good job of pulling the trigger, going and making tackles. But what he did last week against Rutgers, he showed like he was in a certain coverage, then baited the quarterback to throw it, went out there and made a big pick that turned the trajectory of the game. So he's somebody that you got to watch. And then if you want to ask for the defensive line, they got a DM by the name of Anthony Smith, wears number 0. Big body guy, can be a problem at times.
All right, I want to get out on this one here. I feel like we've hit that point in the season, and maybe it's because Wisconsin is struggling a little bit. The Illinois game, it's got a new life. They beat USC.
Yes.
It looked a little bleak there for a second in Champaign. For the Buckeye fans that are going to this game and for watching at home, what do they like? I feel like we've hit the point where it's like, well, they need to beat Minnesota 55-7, and they beat Washington, and that was a huge road win. But then some people were still not satisfied.
Yeah.
As a player, when you're in those moments, when you're going into a game like this, what is your mindset walking into a Minnesota game where you know you're the better team?
Yeah, you just want to look dominant. You want to go out there and make sure that you're clicking on all cylinders. I mean, that's all you can ask for out of the players. Like, this is Minnesota. We're in Big Ten play. So, of course, guys are going to make a couple of plays here and there, but you want to minimize those plays. You don't want to be giving up, 5 explosive plays on defense where, like Brockington, if he goes out there and he catches a fade ball for 60 yards, that's a problem. But if they dink and dunk their way down the field and then they just so happen to get one, that's part of the game of football. These guys are on scholarship as well. And then on the offensive side of the ball, you just want to see those guys pick up in the red zone. That's the only question mark that people have for this Ohio State team is, can they consistently score in the red zone? A night game in the shoe is the perfect time to continue to try to change the narrative on the fact that they struggle in the red zone.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Oh, thank you.
He is Tyvis Powell. Hey, you can watch Tyvis with me on the Coaches Show every Saturday morning with Ohio State. Tyvis, we might just see this in Minnesota's hype video.
You never know. You never know.
We'll see him back here next Monday as we get everything ready for Illinois, and that could be a top 25 matchup.
If everything holds chalk, yes, it will be.
Yes, noon kickoff there in Champaign. Thanks for watching.